Hey guys, my name is Payne Luby, and I am a first year PhD student in informatics at Indiana University Bloomington. As a first year student, while I'm trying to keep my proposed investigatory paths open, I do know that one topic that I've been passionate about for 5 years now is healthy aging in older adults. Now, evidence suggests that two of the most important ways to foster healthy aging in older adults are physical activity and social activity. That's why, for this rapid review, I was really excited to focus on community approaches to promoting healthy aging across different cultures and technological and non technological mediums. And now, for those of you who are interested, I'm going to describe a little bit about what these approaches look like. When we qualitatively coded the studies, we found that even though the interventions looked pretty different on paper, several key themes still managed to consistently emerge. The interventions often centered on learning and/or practice, which could be something as personal as individualized wellness to as general as a creative college course for older adults. A lot of interventions also fostered competition while balancing it with achievement of group goals, allowing participants to stay individually motivated while also encouraging peer accountability. In several cases, the most successful programs blended structured social activity with autonomous participation, allowing participants to engage at their own pace while still remaining socially grounded. Communication methods tended to vary as well, ranging from completely technologically mediated contact to completely in-person interactions, with a lot of interventions balancing both. In fact, they were evenly distributed across all three: technology primarily, in person primarily, as well as approximately equal amount of both. Technology didn't tend to replace human contact, but rather it served as a support tool for participants to plan social activities, to track their own progress, to make new friends, or to stay connected to the ones that they already had. Social participation tended to develop gradually as well, with an emphasis on gradual integration into meaningful communities rather than participation in isolated one-time events. And the intervention's outcomes reflected the structure, ranging from improved cognitive or mental health, increased physical activity, a heightened sense of purpose, and increased social connection being the most commonly observed benefits. Overall, the most successful interventions didn't deliver one-size-fits-all solutions. Rather, they focused their attention on participation, fostering of autonomy, and a sense of belonging. Now, here's the thing. My PhD is in informatics, and my background is in computer science, so this discussion really wouldn't be complete without an overview of how these solutions could potentially be turned digital, and specifically with an emphasis on virtual reality environments, my current favorite technological medium, and how virtual reality could extend these principles. Based on our findings, existing literature seems to involve three main categories of features. A, an activity requiring low interdependence. B, an inherently social component. And three, emergent properties of these combinatory atmospheres. What that means is, if we want to make a VR game, we should center it on an activity that could be done independently, such as exercise or a mental puzzle, but imbue it with distinct social components that help foster healthy competition and collaboration. So instead of keeping this abstract, let me give you a very specific example of what these types of interventions could look like in virtual reality. Imagine a VR program called Walkie Talkie. Get it? Anyway, the core concept is deliberately simple and low pressure. Participants enter a virtual walking environment, such as a park, a boardwalk, or a neighborhood loop, since exposure to green space has been shown to have consistent physical and mental health benefits. And they walk at their own pace, either seated using arm movements or jogging in their living room. This flexibility reflecting the importance of understanding your target user's capabilities. On top of that, each participant is placed in a small virtual cohort of 4 to 6 older adults, who all use the same walking environment over a 4-week period, reflecting the structure of games we looked at in our rapid review. They don't have to talk, they just see each other's avatars walking at around the same time of day, which creates passive social presence without inducing the stress of conversation. Once per day, the system introduces a shared group goal, like as a group walk 10 virtual miles, or jog at least half a mile today. Each person's individual movement contributes to the shared progress bar. That's it. No leaderboards, no ranking, just a simple shared progress bar that fills up as individual people participate, so that success is seen as something that's built together, rather than something that's competed over. Now, here's where the inherently social piece becomes more concrete. Twice per week, participants are invited to a group 30-minute optional walking session, in which talking becomes a lot more central to the walking process. Facilitators are also available to be able to support conversation if needed. There's also a small, always available help icon built into the interface that allows a participant to contact staff if they ever feel confused, stuck, or unwell, but otherwise, support stays in the background. At the end of each session, participants receive a one-question reflection prompt, like, did today's walk feel easier than yesterday's? Or what kept you moving today? They can respond by voice, selecting a simple option, or skipping it entirely. These responses are private, but can be shared with the group in the optional sessions. So this intervention simultaneously includes a low interdependence activity, the group walking activity, an inherently social component, the co-presence of other characters, along with the optional group sessions, a group-level emergent property, the shared walking goal, and a blend of technology-mediated and human-supported interaction, facilitated by the immersive power of VR. Outcomes we would measure include changes in daily physical activity, perceived social connection, sense of belonging to the group, self-efficacy of technology, and willingness to continue socializing and walking after the study ends. What makes this powerful is that nothing in the intervention forces socialization. Rather, social connection, motivation, and collective accountability naturally emerge from participation in a very simple activity. So for me, that's really where this rapid review comes full circle. We start by asking what has worked in different communities across technologies and across programs, and we end with a VR intervention that is directly shaped by those same principles. Walkie Talkie is one example of how I'm hoping to bridge my computer science background with aging and community health by grounding digital innovations in what has already worked for real people. And that's exactly the kind of work that I hope to continue pursuing throughout my PhD. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'm excited to answer any questions about any part of the review, the design, or where this work may go next.